Cardi B is a superstar and she kind of needs to act like it. And she shouldn't be adjusting her calendar or release date to any other artist. You're not going to recapture that Bodak Yellow feeling. You're not going to recapture what Invasion of Privacy was. It's been too much time. You cannot go into this album expecting those types of numbers. It's just not reasonable. We finally made it. Cardi B finally dropped the album. It's been since 2018. Am I the Drama? The follow-up album to Invasion of Privacy that won the Rap Grammy of the Year in 2018. It is now 2025, and we're just now getting the album. Was it worth the wait? Kinda. So let's talk about this album. So, off the rip, the intro, fire, like completely fire. The production, the beat switches, the flow switches, and the content. Now, some of the content and the bars would have hit harder had this album had been released 2 or 3 years post Invasion of Privacy, especially the Grammy bar. Something I did notice about this album was the production, for the most part, was a lot darker, and the bars were very aggressive. Like, when it comes to the production, the sound was very not as bright, not as colorful, not as poppy. It was very grimy and like not even like underground, but just really rugged sounding. Considering what Invasion of Privacy was, like that was a really poppy sounding album compared to this. Everybody got smoked on this album. Offset got smoke early. One thing about Cardi is she's always going to touch on every demo. Every demo she's going to touch. She's always going to have a crossover Spanish kind of song with Bodega Baddie. She's always going to have a song for the ladies, like Safe with Kehlani, Pick It Up, Selena Gomez, which Selena Gomez, I didn't know that that's what she did. I didn't know that she was like a singer like that. Like I never really was familiar with her work, which was, I mean, it was okay. Nice Guy with Tyler. She's going to have the relationship songs. Man of Your Word, What's Going On. Low key, if I told you that the background vocals for Man of Your Word was Offset and I didn't tell you that it wasn't, I feel like you might believe me because that guy kind of did sound like Offset vocally. Now, a name that I did see all up and down this album was DJ Swan Quote. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but he produced Up, he produced Get Up 10, he produced Enough, he produced Bongos. So after I looked into him a little bit, seeing his name all over this album made a lot of sense because he's made hits with Cardi. So why not continue to work with Cardi? Another name that I did see a lot of in the credits in this album, Partisan Fontaine. He did a lot of writing. I think he was credited on almost every song. I don't know how much of the writing that he is responsible for. I don't know if he wrote, just the hooks and the choruses or, a handful of bars here and there. But there are songs that he is credited on as a writer and Cardi B is not credited on as a writer. So I don't know if that's going to be updated before this drops, but that's kind of something that might warrant a conversation. But either way, no matter who wrote these songs are fire. They sound great and they go. Like they just straight up go. There is a part in the middle of the album where Cardi does focus a lot on the relationship with her and Offset, about kind of the ups and downs and what went wrong and kind of mourning that marriage and going through a divorce. When you hear all those songs and then the next song is Outside, it works way better in the sequence of the album as opposed to just as a single. Hearing Outside after those few songs on going through a divorce makes way more sense. Now, the song that a lot of people are talking about, Pretty and Petty. Jesus, like this is tough for me because I do like Bia's songs. I do like Bia's work. I do like the music that she makes. But I don't know if Bia can respond to this. I don't know if she's got the capability. She definitely doesn't have the star power to respond to this. Like, I don't know what angle she takes. If whatever she does, like, it might just get drowned out by the noise of Cardi B because Cardi B is a megastar. Bia is still up and coming for some people. She's not a household name. There's a part in the song where they're like, name five Bia songs, and there's a lot of people that can't name five Bia songs. She hasn't broken through like that. It was like, and I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of rappers naming names, talking that shit, embodying other rappers. And that is exactly what Cardi B did. Cardi B smoked Bia's boots on this song. I don't know if Bia could respond to this. I know Bia has an album coming up soon. If that album isn't flawless, if it doesn't have at least one hit, they have to go back to the drawing board. They cannot drop an album with a bunch of duds and songs that aren't going to make any noise. But yeah, I, Bia needs to go back to the drawing board. I want to be surprised that Cardi B would do something like this, but why not respond on your album? Get the streams for your album. Don't just do the thing where you just put it out on Instagram or YouTube or like a mixtape kind of thing where you don't get any credit for it. Like if you wanna diss somebody, diss them on your album. Like a lot of rappers have done it. Nas, Jay-Z, Drake, Nicki Minaj. Like this isn't, out of the ordinary. So I'm always down for the beef. Like keep it going. Something I wish she kind of would have leaned into a little bit more on this album was the Grim Reaper aesthetic, like mentioning like killing rappers, killing media people. I think it worked with the darker production sound, but I think more of the getting rid of all of your ops kind of vibe. I think that the album needed a little bit more of that, and I think if she would have leaned more into that sound and that style and those kinds of songs and bars, it would have felt a little bit more artistic. Some of the things that I wasn't a fan of on this album, if I had to skip songs, it would probably still be Imaginary Players. Like I wasn't a big fan of that when it first dropped as a single. Principal Principal can go. Like I didn't need that either. I know a lot of people like it. It's not for me. I'm not saying it's a bad song. It's just a song that I'm skipping during the album, and we've got to stop listing samples as features. Like you have Janet Jackson listed as a feature when you're just using her as a sample. That's annoying. Imagine if like Kanye West did that. If you listed all the samples as features. Imagine if you had Luther Vandross and Michael Jackson listed as features. Like that's not, no. Be for real. You can give her the credit, give Janet the credit and shout her out, whatever, but listing her as a feature just seems wasteful. And I might get a little bit of hate for this, but Bodega Baddie, not for me either. Not for me. Some of the songs that I think are going to be the next single, I do think songs like Trophies, Magnet, Bodega Baddie, obviously, because I just think that's going to be a hit. And Airtime, I think those could be the next singles. I think Cardi B is going to put out at least 2 to 3 more videos with singles on this off of this album. I do wish she would have put some of these other songs out before Imaginary Players. Like there was, I don't understand how Imaginary Players made the album, honestly. But overall, I enjoyed the album. I think this album, rapping wise, is a better album than Invasion of Privacy. I just don't think it has as many big hits, like guaranteed commercially working smash hits, which is fine. Like I didn't expect it to be as commercially successful as Invasion of Privacy. Like every song on that album was a could have been a single. With this album, there was a little bit more rapping, a little bit more detail, a little bit more focus on song structure and the bars and making it sound like she had improved as a writer. Now, did she improve as a writer or did she buy improved writers? I don't know. Either way, the rapping sounded a lot better on this album. Definitely going to spin it a lot this year. I think it'll definitely be a top 10 album of 2025. Sneaking into the top 5 is going to be tough. Either way, it was a great album. Did it reach the expectations of the wait? No, but that's not possible. Nobody could have done this. Nobody could have waited from 2018 to 2025 and met the expectations off of a winning album. No one could do it. Beyonce don't do it. Kendrick don't do it. Drake doesn't do it. Nobody does it. There's a reason why people don't wait that long between album releases. So shout out to Cardi. Shout out to the writers. Shout out to the producers. This was a great album. I really enjoyed it.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.